Ahoy, and welcome to the first episode of the Nauti Buoys Boat Show, where we talk everything about boats, the build, the mechanics, the good, the bad, the ugly. We may also talk about electronics, marinas, restaurants, cruising, and fishing. The topics will be endless. So, let's get into some introduction here. Who are the Nauti Buoys? Well, it's two guys. We've been working side by side in the marine industry for over 30 years. My name is Captain Greg Michael. I'm a marine surveyor. And we got Glenn Shadbolt, marine mechanic and shipwright. And if you're a guest or a caller, you're certainly on Nauti. Say hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick introduction on myself. I've been a marine surveyor, like I said, NAM certified for over 28 years. I hold a United States Coast Guard 100-ton Master Captain's license. Some other credentials include the American Boat and Yacht Council certifications, such as ABYC standards, composite boat building, marine electrical, master technician, and ship systems. I am also USPAP certified. I am a Florida and New York State licensed appraiser. I belong to the Marine Industries Association of the Treasure Coast and the National Fire Protection Association. Well, that's me. Glenn, how about you?
Me? Been in the field 50 years, certified Merc Cruiser, Mercury Outboard, many others that have lapsed. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, good. So when you say you're in the field, are you a baseball player?
No,
You're just a mechanic.
just a mechanic.
So you're not making the big money.
No,
Okay. All right. I thought you were a Yankee, Met. I didn't know what you are.
Met.
Okay. You're a Met. Okay, good. Well, that's good. So today we're very, very lucky. We have a very special guest for our first show. This is, by the way, the first weekly show for the Nauti Buoys. And our guest today is Kenny Pontari, Vice President of Manufacturing for Contender Boats. Say hi, Kenny.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Good
Good to be here.
Good. Welcome. So what I want to talk about today is Contender has some really, really exciting news. They built a new factory up in Fort Pierce, right, Ken?
Yep, I just came from there.
Oh, good. So you have two factories now.
Yes, we have one in Homestead and one in Fort Pierce.
Okay, both South Florida boats.
Correct.
So we'll get into some questions here for Kenny, and then later on, we're going to give out a phone number. We'll have some live callers. These callers can call in, ask me a question about surveying. They can ask Glenn a question about marine mechanics or anything on the boat. And certainly, we want you to call in and ask Kenny some questions about Contender and what's going on over there. So, all right, we're going to get right into it right now. So, Ken, who owns Contender?
Joe Niebuhr owns Contender.
Okay, Joe Niebuhr. And when did he start the company?
1984.
Wow.
Yep, started in his driveway.
Really?
Yep,
Whereabouts?
in Miami.
Really?
Miami area, yes.
Just building boats out of his driveway?
Yep.
That's a feat, right? So, and Joe's still there?
Joe is still there. Yes, he is.
Wow.
He's there every day.
Okay. So he's a hands-on boss.
He's out on the floor. He's doing everything. He's a busy guy.
Wow. That's very impressive. Good to hear. All right. So it's a privately held company then?
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's not one of these big conglomerates?
No. It's a family-owned family. The whole place is, it's not that corporate feel. It's a good place to work.
Right. Yeah, because with these conglomerates, I know, MarineMax, I think, just bought cruiser yachts. So, so these big conglomerates build boats, Sea Ray, all them, they buy these boat companies. And I just feel like the personal touch in the boat building is lost sometimes.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, you being all about manufacturing.
Yeah.
You would know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Good. How many employees at Contender?
250 in Homestead, and right now 125, 150 in Fort Pierce.
So we could talk upwards of almost 400 employees.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Wow. So it's not a small company.
No, not at all. No.
This is not a small boat builder.
No, it's not. I mean, it's 350 boats a year.
350 boats a year.
Yeah, it's 30 boats a month. Yep.
Wow.
Roughly.
That's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got its challenges, especially coming out of COVID. COVID created a whole new set of challenges with, material issues and whatnot. But COVID did drive, our backlogs. It did opposite what everybody thought it was going to do.
Right.
And it's been a challenge, that's for sure.
So you were way behind during COVID.
I wouldn't say way behind. We were maxed out building, and we were building them as fast as we could. And, we didn't want to build them to where we were just throwing them together. And then, that's not good either. So
Right.
we did what we had to do and kept our heads down and got the boats built.
Yeah. So unlike even like the car industry, they were throwing cars together. They couldn't get the chips. They couldn't this.
Right.
You guys took a personal touch and said, if we're not going to build them right, we're not building
100%. No, we weren't going to do that. No.
Yeah. Good. That's good. Contender's always been a good boat since I've been surveying, which again, I'm going on 28 years now. Contender's always been a good boat. Pretty easy survey for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't say that about a lot of other brands, but certainly Contender's been a good one.
Well, we sold those at a dealership in the late 90s.
You did.
And they were happy boats, We'd put them together and they'd leave. Not
Yep.
like the other ones that came back week after week. But they were, they'd come and just leave.
Yep.
They were good boats.
Nice. So what's your best-selling model?
They're all our best-selling model. Our 39s, our 32s, our backlogs are. That's where our greatest backlogs are. I mean, we're still selling plenty of 44s, plenty of bay boats, but our 39 or 32s, especially the 39s, they're not slowing down at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your biggest model?
44.
44.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you pair that with? What engines usually come on those?
It all depends on the customer. I mean, we can do twin 600 Mercuries up to quad 450 Yamahas,
Wow.
400 Mercuries, whatever the customer wants. It's 1,800 horsepower rating.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those boats are moving.
Yeah, with that rating, it's mid-70s on a 44.
So you've been a captain, you've been a fisherman your whole life.
Yep.
Is there any truth to getting to the fishing grounds first wins you the prize?
Well, when you're tournament fishing, it's definitely an advantage. You can cover a lot more ground. You can bounce around. You get there a lot quicker. So the quicker you get there, the more time your lines are in the water.
Right.
And they got to be in the water to catch the fish. So it's definitely an advantage.
That's a good motto. You should put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of northeast fishing.
We did. Yes, I did.
You did southern fishing. So the northeast fishing, again, I was originally from the northeast. Our big thing was canyon fishing.
Yep. We actually brought a 44 up there. One of our demos 2 years ago, fished the Jimmy Johnson tournament, fished the White Marlin Open.
Nice.
And yeah, we were running 90 miles each way every day.
Yeah, so the White Marlin, that's a Jersey thing, right?
That's Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good. Yeah, I knew it was a little south of me. I was a Long Island boy, and we go out of the out to the canyon, and it was always tuna, shark, mahi,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But we had the slow boats, the big but slow.
Yep.
Yeah,
we took that boat up to Atlantic City on its own bottom, right out of Homestead, and it was a little over 2 days from here, from Homestead to Atlantic City.
Really?
Yep.
So drove it right up.
Yep. First stop from Homestead was Morehead City, North Carolina, and then Morehead to Atlantic City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, impressive.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so the new Fort Pierce facility.
Yeah.
What boats are you building out of there?
30 feet and down, we build our 30, our 28, our 26 bay, our new 23 bay, and our 24 and our 5 seat, which is a 25 foot center console. Yeah.
So the 25 is your smallest boat.
Actually, our new 23 that we debuted in Miami this year is our newest boat, which is our smallest boat, which is it's a bay boat.
Okay, so it's a back bay kind of.
Back bay, I've had them in the ocean, on
Right.
nice days and whatnot.
So it's a pick your day boat.
Yeah, it's a pick your day boat when it comes to the ocean, I would think, but
Yeah.
I mean, it'll definitely handle it.
Right.
I mean, I've taken my 26 bay and my 25 bay to the Bahamas a few times, so
Wow.
yeah, it can definitely handle it.
So these things are built.
They're built.
Okay.
Yes, they're built.
Yeah, that's the reputation Contender has. And what new technologies in the new factory? What new technologies are we talking about here?
Well, both factories. The new factory is full infusion. Mm-hmm. All the models are now infused. The Homestead factory, we are infusing our 44, our 35, and our 32. 39 is next on the agenda, which should be in the next couple of weeks. So within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be 100% infused across the board, which is a big deal.
So for the people listening, infusion, I'm a surveyor. I certainly know what it is. Glenn, we all know what it is. For the people listening, infusion is, so you're basically vacuum bagging.
Yep.
You're infusing the gel coat, the resin right into the fiberglass.
Right into the fiberglass and into the core, and now the stringers are preloaded dry with our glass. Mm-hmm. So the whole boat is infused as one.
Right.
And it makes a big difference in strength and the weight savings and whatnot.
Right. And when you say core, so between the fiberglass laminates, you're using a core for stiffness, thickness, and actually to save weight also.
That's correct. I mean, the bigger boats we're using balsa, and on the smaller boats we're using foam.
Okay. And so with this infusion, that really gets through into the core and kind of prevents any moisture issues, wetness issues, things like that.
It prevents a lot of, from areas from being dry. It prevents from being too much resin in certain areas, which adds weight to the boat. And it's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, so you're not going to see voids, for instance, on a Contender.
No, not at all.
Okay,
no.
Good. And below the waterline, you're using vinyl ester resins?
Vinyl ester everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So for the people listening, vinyl ester resins, what's good about that? So there's polyester resins, there's vinyl ester resins, there's epoxy resins. Vinyl ester is good because of blistering issues. You don't want osmotic blistering on your boat. When you use vinyl ester, it prevents this blistering. So very popular here in the South for boats to blister, certainly the older ones. But if you're using vinyl ester, it kind of takes care of that problem. So Homestead. And what boats are you building in the Homestead facility?
We build the 44, the 39, the 35, and the 32.
So the bigger ones.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And what? Just curious, why would you build certain boats in one factory and certain in the other?
Well, we needed space. We needed more space. We outgrew Homestead. We outgrew the infrastructure, and we wanted to introduce more models. Build more boats. When the factory came available a few years ago, Joe made the decision to buy the factory, and we redid the factory, and it took a little over a year to redo the factory, and it's state of the art. You ever get a chance to go over there, you should stop in.
So that brings me to a good question. Can anybody tour the factories?
Not really. Not without calling and setting up an appointment and all that. And It's just for insurance stuff. And
right.
It wouldn't be good for people just to be walking around.
Just walking around, picking up a tool and building.
Right. And there's certain areas that we don't like people to see just because of the things that we're doing.
Right.
You know,
Proprietary.
R&D and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if I got a pal or something and I want him to come and
Just call me.
just call you.
Yeah.
Good. I gotta like that.
It's not really open to the public. You gotta
know
call.
somebody?
No, but you gotta call. Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
You're pulling things out of the mold.
Right. It's a
40-foot boat over your head.
Right.
you
It's
know.
not a good. It's not a good place to be if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So here's a really important question. I've certainly surveyed with Glenn over 30 years. I probably surveyed every boat model, every boat manufacturer. We've done, I don't think there's any engines we haven't done. So we've got a lot of experience with boats. We know the inherent problems on some of these boats. We know the good, the bad, the ugly. We know all of that. Tell me what sets Contender apart from everyone else.
Well, there's three things. Okay. Our boats are unmatched in fishability. They're unmatched in performance. They're unmatched in utility. They're built here in America. Every boat leaves with an American flag on the side, both sides of the hull. And we're proud of that. I mean, everybody there is proud of what they do. They're proud of the product that goes out the door. They're proud of hearing, people's comments when they get their boat for the first time, or repeat customers of how awesome the boat is. And that's another thing. A lot of our customers are repeat because they've had multiple Contenders and they love them so much, and they wouldn't change for anything.
Right.
So
repeat business is a big business of
Contender. Yeah, and we have a huge commitment to conservation, which is a big thing with a lot of people in our company, and I'm proud to work there. It's a great place. It really is.
Yeah, and American built is to me still, Americans can build boats. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I get on some of these foreign boats. They're good. I don't have a problem, but Chinese. They're building a lot of boats in China, Taiwan, the French, the English. I get on a lot of these boats, and you could see quality differences in certain models.
Yeah.
I always say this, and I'm not just saying this because we're here and you're here, but Americans know how to build boats.
Yep.
We may be lacking in some other things in this country, but we know how to build boats. Yeah. So I'm very proud of that.
And we have people that have been there for over 30 years still working there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the company treats the employees well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good place to work.
Great place to work. Yeah.
You guys hiring?
Oh yeah, we're always hiring. I mean, we always look to see, if we can find a guy that wants to work and he can be trained, or he comes in with experience, we hire. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. So I would say people could go on your website.
Yes.
ContenderBoats.com.
Yep.
And ContenderBoats.com. And if anybody's interested in working at Contender or interested in the marine industry, give them a call, and certainly, it'll be a good opportunity to get involved. So you talked a little bit about the American flags on those boats.
Yeah.
We're just guys sitting here. We're just kind of shooting it and talking about it. What does that American flag mean to you?
Oh, man, that's a big question. Yeah. I mean, we've been putting them on the boat since 2001, and, you look around the world today and see what's going on, and the fact that we're able to build these boats with everything that's going on in the world, and people can still go out and use them, and and we're able to do this and feed our families and keep people working and put out amazing product like that is just it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's pride.
It's pride, absolutely, 100% pride, 100%. And especially when, like Greg was saying, you see these boats that are coming in from overseas, and you're like, why are we doing this? Why are people doing that and selling them in here when,
we got people here that need.
We got to put people to work here. I mean,
Yeah, so we got to bring that manufacturing back here, and
Yeah, and I
grow these
mean, like you said, I mean, we know how to build boats here, and all up and down, all around this country, people know how to build boats. We've been doing it for a long time.
yeah, I mean, you know, I won't mention the brands right off the bat, but we build boats on the West Coast, the East Coast, the
Yep.
North, the South.
Yep.
There's boats being built all over the place. The center of our country on the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
We build boats everywhere, and boat building's a big staple in this country. We've been doing it since the beginning of time.
There's some amazing shipwrights in this country. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and the old timers, man, you meet some of these old timers, and they're just.
Well, Joe, I mean, and Joe's been doing it for 35 years, and I mean, listen, I got a lot of respect for him. He knows what he's talking about. I mean, it's hard to argue with him.
But let me ask you a question: do you argue with them?
Well, we disagree sometimes. Let's put it that way.
You know, I guess to be as good as you are at what you do, you have to be confident, and you have to, you know, voice your opinion.
Well, I mean, it's a big deal to send a boat out there and put people out on the water that, you know, their safety and families are all, you know, it's our responsibility.
It's a big responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility, and
Yeah, it's called drowning.
yeah, well, yeah, it could be more than that too. And I don't want to go there, but it's a big deal to us, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah, yeah. No, nothing good comes out of a boat that's sinking.
No,
tell you that
no,
right
no, not at all. No, and
And that's definitely not Contender. So in my job as a surveyor, I always do every year a bunch of damage claims. I do sinkings, I do accidents, I do all that. And man, when you do a claim and there's a family involved and kids involved,
Yeah.
and sometimes the outcome isn't good.
yep.
It's bad. So the manufacturers are really, it's really where it starts.
Well, I mean, we take it seriously enough to the people that build our boats, that work in the factories. We take them on our sea trials, our QC sea trials. We'll take one guy here or a couple guys here to go, come on, we're going to go show you why we do it this way, because this could happen.
Right.
And we take them out there, and they're like, oh man, I never would have thought, you know, and why we're doing this hose clamp here or whatnot. Because if next thing you know, you got 50, 100 gallons of water in the boat and you're out in the middle of the ocean, now what are you going to do? And then they get it, you know, and we practice that a lot,
Right.
you know.
So I get that, and that's great. You being a fisherman too, you
Yeah.
have to have massive input in how these boats are
Yeah,
built and
yeah, yeah.
and how things are laid
I
out.
did it. I started mating up in New Jersey when I was in high school, and got my license when I was 19, and ran boats all the way till I was 32 years old. And then said that was enough traveling for me, and had to start doing something a little bit more at home.
So you got married and had kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I just want to talk a little bit more about your experience in manufacturing. So you can look at these boats
Yep.
and you could say, you know what, that shouldn't go there, or that should go there, or you know what, we need to put this here. Or so talk a little bit about your involvement in when you build a boat as the fisherman's perspective.
Right.
You know, you're a fisherman.
Right.
You're a captain. Just tell me, you know, give me any examples of.
Well, one of the things that we do a lot of people that work there, they use our boats. They have them. I mean, I have them. Joe has them. The engineers have them, and they use them. I mean, that's what we do. And Steve Cunningham runs the Fort Pierce factory. He's also a boat captain. He knows what has to happen and what needs to be done. And you use them enough, you see what works and what doesn't. You fish tournaments in them, and in competitive places, you're gonna realize what's going on. So there's a lot of input that comes in from us using them daily.
Right.
And it's a good thing.
It's a work in project.
It's a work. Yes, it is. Correct. That's a good way of putting it. Yep.
And what about your customers? What about the input from your customers?
We take all our input. I mean, on our when we have warranties issues or whatever, we see what happened, and we'll go to our QA and our engineers, and we'll figure out, okay, this is why it happened. We got to do this. But it's a constant moving thing. I mean, it doesn't stop. So
You ever get a guy who's bought a contender or two contenders and comes to you and says, "Hey guys, why are you putting the fish well here? We need it here." Or, why are you putting this here? Why? I mean, does that constantly happen?
it does, but there's certain reasons we do it in the build process, which is proprietary. But yeah, it does happen, and we take it into advisement, and we'll talk about it. And if it makes sense, we'll do it.
Right.
Right.
So Contender is I like to look at Contender as one of the boat manufacturers that I like, certainly, because they're not so big that they don't care, and they're not so small that they really don't work. But Contender to me is almost like a custom boat.
It is. It's definitely a custom boat. We do a lot. We try to accommodate it as much as we can. Some things we can't do, but we definitely do a lot of custom work. That's for sure.
So if a customer wants something done specially,
We'll review it, and more than likely we've already done it, so we'll know we can do it. We do still get some pretty crazy ideas, but we do a lot of custom, a lot.
So it's not just colors, like
No, I mean that's one thing with Contender. You can pick all your colors.
Really?
Most manufacturers, you can pick the hull and that's it. But right. Yeah, I mean you can pick the bottom, you can pick the hull, you can pick the liner, you can pick the console. We've had boats go out of there with 3 or 4 or 5 different colors.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's Contender doing? They gel coating or they painting?
No, we're gel coating.
You're
we're
gel coating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the gel coat. Gel coat's thick.
Yeah.
You kind of you can really wear on gel coat. You can polish it as much as you want.
It's pretty durable.
It's very durable.
Yep.
So paint to me has always been paper thin. Although manufacturers that use paint, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it gets paper thin, and sometimes these guys, they go to polish and stuff, they go right through the paint. So I get a little nervous with paint sometimes. So I like that custom type of build with Contender. I like that family feel with Contender. I like the whole aspect of where they are. You don't have to call some phone number in Asia or something.
Right.
Yeah. So talk to me about your customer service. I mean,
well, customer service is huge. I mean, you got to have it. I mean, people buy the boats, they come back, because of the customer service, and it's a big thing with us, and we try to do it for as best we can. And it gets tough sometimes. You get people calling in on, with boats they've had for 30 years, and you're trying to help them out as best you can. And, it's a lot of phone calls with people calling in, and we try to get to everybody that we can, but sometimes it's tough. But it's a big deal. Service is everything in this business.
Obviously, you have a whole department just for customer service.
We do, but we also have a dealer network that, if you buy your boat in North Carolina from the North Carolina dealer, you're going to go to him for your service.
Right.
And the dealer is in contact with our service department at the plant.
Okay, good. I like that. Customer service is everything. I mean, I've had boats my whole life.
Yep.
I've called customer service, and I get somebody, who knows nothing about the boat, nothing about the model, and you just kind of stuck. So,
well, we're lucky. We have some, like I said, we still have some of the guys there that have been there for over 30 years that actually built their boats back in the late 80s and early 90s, and so we can get the questions answered that they have.
Right.
Most of the time.
you have legacy,
Yeah, exactly.
which we don't have these days.
Exactly.
Kenny, another thing that comes to mind is R&D. Talk
Yep.
to me about some of that. Wait, there are some people out there, I bet you won't know what R&D stands for.
There might be, yeah.
Okay, so what does R&D stand for, first of all?
Research and development.
There you go.
Chris Becker, who leads up our R&D department with Joe, they do a great job. I mean, we just introduced our new 23 bay boat in Miami. I actually have one. I just got it. It's incredible. We do have some new stuff coming out this year at the boat show that I really can't talk about, but it's going to be at the Miami Boat Show.
Great.
We're really excited about it. The boys are working hard on it right now as we speak.
So let me ask you a question. Could we have Contender back right around boat show time?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
That's what we need. So we'll be able to reveal what's going on at the boat show.
I'll have to ask. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, so this is the. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
You're pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think we
covered
covered a lot. Yeah. So this is the portion of the podcast where we want to take live callers. So the number I'm about to give you, just give it a call. State your name and what who your question's for. Obviously, it's either me, Greg Michael, or Glenn Shadbolt, or Kenny Pontari from Contender. So the number to call in is 772-773-2600. All right, let's get some live callers on the phone.
I got a good Contender story for you.
So I just want to, before our first call, I just want to bring something up. So this is not live, the podcast. So you will, I have a caller. I will get to that in a minute. Okay, hello. Welcome to Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Who do I have on the line?
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Tim, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey Tim, how you doing? Who's your question for?
Good. I got a question for Kenny, man. I got a 2007 Contender 23 T. Recently repowered it with 220 Yamahas, but family's growing a little bit, so I was kind of like, thinking about upgrading soon. Anything new coming out?
What size boat do you have now?
23T.
Yeah, we actually have. I was just talking about. We have our new 23 Contender Bay boat.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beast. It's a perfect family boat. We also have our 26 Bay boat. It has forward seating for the family. The 23 though, I ran mine the other day and I'm super happy with it. I think you should definitely take a look at that boat.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
All right, good. We're going to take another call now, so thanks for your call.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, welcome to Nauti Buoys. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, how you doing? This is Rick.
Hey, Rick, who's your question for?
I want to know any innovations that has been changed on anything new to these boats.
What are we doing new? Is that what you asked me?
Yes.
New innovations? We talked about our infusion process. We're going to be across the board in the next couple of weeks with total infusion. We also are going to, with the new electric bus system switching, so that'll eliminate all our external switches. Everything will be run through whatever screens you use on, if you want to go Garmin or Simrad. We have a system for both, which is pretty cool. Nice. It lessens the amount of wire we have to use, which decreases the weight in the boat. It does a lot of things, and it's really, we're excited about it. We introduced it on the 44. We're on the 39s now and the 35s. We're working our way down the lines. So I would say in the next 30 to 45 days, we should probably be across the board in both factories with the switching.
Nice. And what's the latest model boat that you have? What's the newest boat you have?
The last caller just told him the 23 Bay boat is our latest model. We introduced it in Miami Boat Show. It's our 23 Bay boat, brand new, just came out. We're really excited about it. I actually have one. I told somebody the other day I was excited about this boat. It's that much of a monster. It really is. It's a beast for a little boat.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that information.
Yep.
All right.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, thank you for your call. Really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank
I just want to let everybody know these are not live. So we tape the show and we get the callers in. So if you're going to call in, you call in on Tuesday between 5 and 5:30. We'll try to get the first calls in, and the show will air on Thursdays, and it'll be on Thursdays. So having said that, we got another call. So let's go to that another call. Hey, welcome to Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Who am I speaking with, and who's the question for?
Would this be Captain Michael?
Yeah, Captain Greg Michael. Yeah, who's this?
My name is Angelo Guccio. I'm calling from Bell Harbor, Queens, New York. How are you today?
Oh, Bell Harbor. Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to get through. I'm glad I did, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had before you go on, we had a if anybody heard some beeping, that's because we had a ton of calls coming in. So that's really good. That's really
Glad to
good.
hear it, but thank God I got through finally.
Yeah, good. You've been trying for a while, huh?
Yeah, I have.
All right, good. All right, so Angelo, who's your question for?
It's for you, actually.
I got a question.
Angelo, where are you from? Where are you from, Angelo?
Yes, it's actually for you. Yes.
I think Kenny just said where you're from.
Where are you from?
Kenny, who's Kenny?
Kenny Pontari, Contender Boats.
Contender Boats.
You're from Bell Harbor. That's what
Okay.
you're
I'm from Bell Harbor, Queens.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in Brooklyn, good old Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
cannolis
And
up there.
Good
Yeah.
That's what I think he was getting at. You sound like you're a good old boy with the cannolis. So
What is my accent coming through?
Yeah, you
No,
got
not at all.
Yeah, Glenn's sitting here with a big smile. So what's your question? How can I help you?
All right. Actually, it's several questions. Maybe you could steer me in the right direction. I'm actually going to retire soon. I've been out of boating for a lot of years.
Okay.
I don't have a big budget, but I'm actually looking right now at an 02 Sea Ray, 34 foot with IOs 8.1s.
Yep.
And to tell you the truth, there's so much garbage out there. I don't want to get scammed. So I need to know what I should be looking for. It's got very low hours.
How many hours?
Let me put that up front. 350.
Okay.
And I can't believe it. I can't believe that's original.
Right.
That's my first question.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, good question. So your concerns are what with this boat?
Listen, like I said, I don't want to buy this thing and then go for my lungs. My budget is limited, and I just want to keep it. I want to keep it under $500,000, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. All right. So what I can tell you, a 34 Sea Ray is our vanilla boat. I've done. I can't even count how many I've done. They're good boats, but mechanically, I will tell you this. If you're going to get a survey done on that boat, and 99% of the surveyors don't do this, we do. I work side by side with Glenn Shadbolt. He's a mechanic for 50 years. And the one thing I will tell you to do on that boat is you have to do compression. Do a compression test on that boat. We call those 8.1s the $1 million motors. Wires, plugs, everything for those motors are expensive. Do yourself a favor. Do compression on it. Get a mobile mechanical. Go out there with your surveyor, and do the compression. Definitely do the engine survey. This boat have outdrives?
Yes, IOs.
Okay. So it's an 02. So with Merc Cruiser, we had a time frame of when the steering pins in the transom assemblies would start to leak. So what I would say to you, Angelo, is this. The things you want to ask the broker, if you're going through a broker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going through a broker. Okay. So
Yes.
The things you want to ask the broker are things like this. Were the transom assemblies ever changed, replaced? The leaking pins, if in fact they're leaking. When were the bellows, gimbal bearings, U-joints, when were those done? You're supposed to do those every 7-8 years. And certainly risers and manifolds. So when were the risers and manifolds done? Those are every 5-6 years. You should be on your second set pretty much on both by now.
By time, not by hours.
So we don't go by hours. We go by time because when salt water gets into a boat,
The clock starts ticking.
Yeah, the clock starts ticking, just like Glenn just said. So we don't go, we look at boats with hours. We don't really care. And Glenn will plug that boat in.
That's what I said. You have to plug it in because
Well, tell Angela what you mean about plugging it in.
you need someone to plug a scan tool or a computer in it to read the hours on the brain, because the hours on the dash are not usually the hours that are on the motor, depending on the person that's selling it.
Right.
You can kind of tell on an 8-1, you can tell the hours. You can tell if it's got high hours on it by how it sounds sometimes, or if they change.
I know the hours are suspect as it is, so I'm glad you could do something like that.
Right. Good. So just to kind of wrap this up is, do your due diligence. Get your surveyor. Pick a good surveyor. You can go to the NAMS website, NAMS, namsglobal.com. I'm sorry.
One second. Don't speak so fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually said it wrong.
Okay, go ahead. Where am I looking?
Yeah, NAMS Global.
NAMS?
NAMS Global. .org.
.org. Okay.
Yeah, and you'll get a surveyor in your area, and ask your surveyor right up front. Say, listen, I want a mobile mechanic. I want somebody to do compression. I want somebody who knows rises and manifolds, bellows, gimbals, all that. I want somebody to go through the mechanicals because, Angela, I'm going to tell you right now, the big money is in the back of that boat.
The big money is in the back of that boat. Well,
That's
I'm hoping it's in the shape that they're claiming. This is all really, really good information.
Yeah.
One of the things, there's a saying in the Hamptons: before you buy an old Porsche, make sure you have an old Porsche mechanic. So before you buy this thing, maybe you should find out who's going to be servicing it for you, where you're going to keep it, who's going to actually do the work. Do you trust them? So it might behoove you to actually figure out who's going to repair this before you buy this.
Good point. Yeah.
Absolutely, because I can't do any of this stuff myself.
Yeah. So no,
I'm at their mercy.
Right. Do your due diligence and certainly pick a good surveyor. And there's also another website, SAMS, SAMS. They're good guys too. So SAMS has some good surveyors. I'm a NAMS guy. I think they're both,
that was my next question.
Yeah, I'm a NAMS guy. I think they're both pretty good. So
I couldn't get you to fly up here, could I?
Well, you could get me to fly up there, but it's going to cost a lot of money for me to survey that boat, and I wouldn't do that to you, my friend. So, all right.
Well, all good information. I really appreciate it, and thanks for taking my call. And if I have any other question, I'll definitely call you back.
Okay, good. And keep listening to the podcast, and definitely follow us and subscribe and all that good stuff.
I certainly will. Thanks again.
Thank you, Angela. I really appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
That was good information, Glenn, with the mechanic, because you got to have a guy servicing these things.
Yeah.
It's...
we run into in the surveys all the time. We do it, and you write the boat up for a couple of grand, and they're like, okay, what do I do now? I said, well, you're buying a boat, You
got to have a mechanic.
Got to have a mechanic.
Right. Yeah, it's important to know in your area who can service the boat and who you can trust and who's certified. There's a lot of guys out there with a trailer and a wrench. That's not the guy. That's not the guy you want working on your boat. So, it's just boats are a lot of fun. And I always say this: you own a boat, you're making memories, right? It's a great time, family, friends. It's a wonderful time. But you got to maintain your boat. If you get behind it, what happens, Glenn?
I make a lot of money.
You make a lot of money. He's not lying. If you get behind maintenance, guys, you're just going to spend and spend and spend. So keep up on the maintenance. Have good, reliable mechanics, good people on your boat, and you'll make great memories. You don't want to make memories at the dock. You want to make memories on the water. Hey, we got another call. Okay, so let's take this call. Hi, welcome to Nauti Buoys, and who am I speaking with, and who's your question for?
This is Danny.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
Okay.
Good. Who's
I
your
have
question for?
I have a 2001 trophy with a 125 horsepower Mercury two-stroke, and every time I go out, the battery goes dead. I come back, I charge it, and the next time it goes dead again. This keeps happening. What do you think it is?
That's a question for Glenn.
Is the tachometer still working?
No.
So then you probably blew the regulator.
Oh,
Because the
okay.
regulator is connected to the tachometer.
Yeah. So
And on the big problem on them is the yellow and the red wires. They have these snap-on connectors. They usually fuse and melt.
Oh, wonderful.
yeah, I don't think it's something he should tackle himself. Do you?
No, I would have someone else do it.
Okay. So, Danny, what I could tell you is get a good certified Mercury mechanic. Have him absolutely check the motor out. But if Glenn kind of thinks it's the regulator, it probably is. But you want a good certified mechanic to come check that motor out. Don't try and pull wires and take meters and try and test things yourself unless you're really handy.
No, I'm not touching it.
Yeah. Okay. Good answer. Don't touch it. Let a professional do it, and they'll fix it right up for you, and you'll make great memories on the water, like we keep saying. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for your call. I really appreciate it. So
All
make
right.
sure you follow the podcast on. They come out on Thursdays, and follow the podcast and certainly call in anytime. All right.
Okay. Thanks for the help.
Thanks, Danny.
All right.
Okay. So what I'd like to say is this. I'm a marine surveyor, been for 28 years, certified through NAMS. You had all my credentials at the beginning. If you have a boat in Southeast Florida and you need it surveyed, certainly give me a call. You can call the same number, 772-773-2600. I will definitely be surveying boats, and Glenn Shadbolt will probably be with me. So that's good. We make a good pair. And at this time, I would definitely like to thank Kenny Pontari.
Well, thank you for being. I had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
Yeah, we did have a good time.
Thank you.
It was very good seeing you. And so we'll see Kenny at the boat show, certainly.
Yep, I'm at Lauderdale. I'll be in Miami. Absolutely.
Okay.
Come see us. Definitely stop by the booth.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody stop by the Contender booth. Look at all the new stuff coming out, and we'll definitely keep up with what Contender's doing. So Glenn just flashed me a card. He said he wanted to give a tip for the week. So go ahead, Glenn.
So the tip of the week. So what I try to tell my customers is with the battery situation, with dead batteries, is that when you go to shut your boat down, turn your blower on. If you don't have a blower, turn your VHF on so it screeches. So this way when you go to your battery switch, when the switch is off, you know it's off because you won't hear the blower or the VHF. But the more important thing too is when you come down to the boat, when you turn the battery switch on, go to battery 1 first, listen to the blower, how strong it is, then switch it to battery 2. So before you go to the helm, you have already figured out if both batteries have juice, instead of going up there and it doesn't work and calling me right away.
Pretty.
Or not, you have 2 batteries, or if you just went to battery 1, you go out there and you wear that down with the music or the lights, and
And then you're stuck.
then you're up
Then
the
you're
creek
stuck.
without a battery.
Seen it.
And done it.
Done it. Oh, yeah.
So what's my tip of the week? Glenn wants me to give you a tip of the week. So my tip of the week is this. Please, when you're buying a boat, I don't care the price. When you're buying the boat, get it surveyed. Why? I see this over and over and over again. Every time somebody goes and buys a boat and they say, oh, the boat's clean, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Well, let me tell you something. I get called in after the fact, and I can sometimes walk away with 50, 60, 70 recommendations. Well, those are recommendations that the previous owner or seller could have taken care of, or you could have negotiated. So don't think a survey is expensive. Not surveying is expensive. So you guys really want to survey these boats. You want the mechanical surveyed. You want the hull surveys. You want everything surveyed. So we have a saying in this business. I don't know if I coined it or you did, Glenn, but I'm going to say it anyway. So these boats, you walk up to them, they're beautiful, they're pretty, and our saying is, a good-looking woman can still be a whore. So, so get your boat surveyed before you buy it, not after. All right. Once again, we are so thankful for Kenny Pontari for being here.
Yeah, thanks again.
All right, Contender Boats. Hey, go see them, buy them. They're great boats, and
That's my tip of the week.
that's your tip.
Buy a Contender.
Buy a Contender. They're great boats.
They are a good boat.
Yeah, we have surveyed many of them, right, yes. Glenn? And we haven't had problems. They're good boats. So,
Like I said, go ride on everything, and if you'll come back when you go ride on our boat. You see the quality, and you'll be buying the Contender.
that's true. They do have the best ride.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'd like to thank everybody again. Once again, just please hit that subscribe, follow, or like button. And please tune in next Thursday and every Thursday for the Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Every week we will have exciting guests and informative news. May you have fair winds, following seas, and tight lines. God bless everybody.